Hello, everybody, and welcome back to week 19 of Shift Tracking, the local real estate market here in South Jersey for Burlington, Camden, and Gloucester counties. I can't believe we're already on week 19. It feels like we just started. No, I've remembered pretty much every single week because it's a labor of love, and it's a labor of love because we need to track some things that are going on. And one of the things that I have been looking at here over these past 5 weeks specifically has been the new listings. We have seen a little bit of air pumped into here. We've seen a little bit of a recovery of our new listings, especially over these last 5 weeks. Well, why is that happening, right? Why now are we getting the new listings? It's nice outside. I wish I could say it's more involved than that, but it's just darn nice outside. We know that real estate is cyclical. We know that real estate is based on the seasons. We know that there's always a spring market, right? And we know that it gets a little slower in the winter. We get that. In this area of the country, we have snow and we have hot summers. So that change of the seasons is a big time for people to list their homes and to purchase homes. We know that. So I'm happy to see that some of our spring market, while late, normally we see our spring market start around here like right after the Super Bowl in February. We didn't quite see it, just didn't quite pan out. But we're seeing it now, which I think is important. And two of the things that I just marked here a little bit here were the new listings and the pending. Really, almost all year, there's only 1 week, I think it was week 2, there's only one other week where the new listings had actually been more than the pendings. And why, right? We want to make sure that there is more at this stage of the game. We want to make sure there are more homes coming on the market than are coming off the market. What we just saw here in the new listings, the pending and the close numbers, if we can keep this going, I'd like to spread it out a little bit more, make a little more cushion, give a little bit more. But 324 new listings, 322 went under contract, and 259 of those sold. That to me is sort of an ideal ratio. Again, I'd like to see a little more spread between the new listings and pending. I think 2 over the course of an entire week across 3 counties isn't really that much. But the idea of, I want my new listings right now to be the highest. I want my pendings to be just lower than that. And then I want my close to be just lower than that. That creates the nice, healthy funnel of those deals. Some deals will die naturally. Some deals will come back off the market for whatever reason, right? But to see us kind of refilling our coffers, as it were, in the listings is what we need, right? And we can see that in a couple numbers. Total active listings, we've gone from 1,075 in week 15 up to 1098, up to 1099, up to 1124, up to 1145. So each week, these past 5 weeks, we've gone up in the total active available listings. Same thing with our volume. Volume back in week 15 was 369 million, up to 381, 382, 395, and now 404. So this is a great sign. This is exactly the sign that we have sort of been looking for here, in to get more listings on the market, have more available inventory there for buyers to choose from, lengthen the amount of time that the average home will sit on the market. All those things go together. Now, in the short term, because we're still kind of releasing some of that pent-up buyer demand, we do still have the lowest median days on market that we've had this actually all year. 22 was our previous lowest. Now we're at 21. And we can feel that. The amount of buyers that I have right now who, look, I'm getting out there as soon as humanly possible, within 2 days, 3 days, 4 days. Sometimes even by the time we talk about that offer on the 5th day, they've already accepted it. Just got beat out on a new construction. We got our offer in on day 5. And they said we already signed contracts. So that rule, and I said it on a previous video, but that 3-day rule, you got to know about it. We use the MLS search for that. You got to put eyes on it. I get a virtual tour done, or I'll take you out ASAP. And you got to offer on it in within 72 hours, because the likelihood that your offer won't even be considered after that 72 hours increases dramatically in this market. And we can see that bearing itself out in the median days on market. This is a fast market right now. So it's one of those things, as a buyer, if you're even considering, and even if you don't work for me or you're working in a different area of the country, my encouragement to you is, don't go into this lazy. Don't go into this, oh, well, we're just going to see what's out there. I'm just going to take a look at a couple things here and there. If I see something, I'll let you know. That's a death sentence right now. Absolute death sentence if that's going to be the way that you're going to try and operate your search, because we just know that you have to get out and see these things so quickly. And if you're just once in a while, once every couple of days, you're hopping on to Zillow or to Realtor.com or my website, your website, doesn't matter, and you're only seeing, you have already lost. You have already lost. So what I tell buyers is, look, you have a pre-approval. Most of the time, pre-approvals are good for 60 days or something like that. Some people want you to update every 30, but 60 days is generally pretty good. Okay. What you want to think about is when you get pre-approved, I want you to take that 60 days like it's a semester of college, right? You're going to have to go to class every day. Yeah, you could take some time here and there on the weekends off. You could still have some fun, but you need to go to class and you need to do your homework every single day for that entire 60-day period. And the reason I don't say just once you're in, is because buyer fatigue is a real thing. I know every one of you watching this is saying, well, no, I get it. I get what he's saying. That won't happen to me, though. I'll be fine. You won't. You won't. Even the I was searching for my home about 6-7 months ago. It happened to me, and I do this as a living. When you start getting yourself emotionally attached to homes in the offer stage and then it's taken out from under you, that can only happen so many times to a rational, reasonable person before they have to take a break. And so I say take about 60 days where you go full bore, and then legitimately take like a week to 10 days to 2 weeks off. Just don't even look at the search. I know that could be hard because what if the perfect house comes up in those 10 days? It might. Maybe have a relative look for you during those 2 weeks, but you got to take some time off during your search. So with that, 60 days, you're on call, like a doctor with a pager who has a patient with surgery. When that comes up, you don't know if it's going to happen today, tomorrow, 5 days from now, whatever, but you have to be ready. Okay. Now, one last thing I want to talk about just for today's video and the purposes of this. I went to a really great wealth building and investment panel on Friday, and here's one thing I want to encourage you to think about. A lot of you may consider investing in real estate. Hey, I'd like to maybe purchase some rental properties as a passive income stream, something that I can, keep, and I can, they can appreciate, I can depreciate them, I can, all sorts of things from a creative financing and from an accounting side to help you build wealth and passive income. I'm all for that. But a lot of you come into this thinking, I need to have 20 to 25% to put down. I need to be able to buy it all cash, or I need to have this. And what I want to kind of address is you don't need that much. When you go to purchase some of these homes, the main thing that you want to consider is this. What type of a property would I want to go for? What type of property would I want to hold in my portfolio? Look, do I think that you can make money owning a strip mall? Of course you can, right? Me, Connor Tuck, would I want to do that? Probably not right now, not at this stage. I don't have either the technical expertise or the want to manage that type of a thing or to be involved with that right this second. For me, a much more approachable would be maybe a condo or a townhome, maybe in Mount Laurel and Marlton, Medford, maybe some of the towns, the Gloucester County towns, things like that, Washington Township, some of those areas. That's where I would kind of consider investing for me. And again, a condo or a townhome, something that's manageable, reasonable. I understand that inventory, but maybe this second I don't have, 25% plus closing costs and and then flip money to be able to put into this. If you can start to identify that type of a project that you would want to pursue, and you can do the analysis of here's what I would expect to purchase it for, here's what I would expect to get from a market rate standpoint, here would be my expenses and costs, and here would be the return on my investment. What you've basically just done is you've put together the creative package that you could then have somebody else pay for. So there's a strategy that some people inside of Keller Williams world have done, and it's similar to that BRRRR method. If anybody listens to the Bigger Pockets podcast, that's one of the methods that they do. If you just Google BRRRR, there's like 4 R's or something, renovation, you'll figure it out. But basically, what somebody has done, and there's a gentleman who I sat with a little while ago that explained this process. So he went out and he said, look, I can find the deals, but I don't have a ton of cash on me right now, right? We just have other expenses and things. I don't have the cash right now for it, but I know how to invest in real estate. So they were able to find somebody pretty quickly. And that's where I'll try and help you out. If you are looking for someone who can help bankroll some of the things you're doing, I can connect you to individuals who want to do this from their side and who have no interest in the ownership of the property property. They're just looking for a cash on cash return. Let's say you find a $100,000 property, right? And you know that you're going to have to put probably 20 to 25,000 into this home and just some basic renovations, right? You're doing the landlord special stuff. You're just basically flipping the kitchen out if you need to do that, painting some walls, maybe add some new flooring. Maybe you got to clean up a couple bedrooms here or there, but that's basically it. A 2-bedroom, a 3-bedroom, something like that. Okay. And so you say, okay, we're all in for about 125, maybe 130 with closing costs. Now, when I get this property, when we actually do the renovations, and then we're going to put a tenant inside of it, then we're going to have the bank and we're going to basically refinance the loan. And so the bank will come out and they'll say, okay, great. So you bought this for 100,000. It looks like you guys have put some money into it. Now, based on prevailing comps and the fact that it's income flowing, we're going to be able to, appraise your property at 130 or 140 or $150,000. When you refinance, you're basically able to pull out the lion's share of that investment, which you can then pay back the investor. And most of the time, just through that refinance, you'll be able to pay off the investor plus their interest. So from this investor standpoint, they're saying, hey, I'll give you $125,000, and in a matter of 3 to 4 months, give me back 145 or 150. Give me an 8, 10, 12% return on my money, right? And then what happens? You get the deed. So now you own the property. You didn't use any of your own money to do it. And now you start to be able to get the passive cash flow. Now you may structure it with that investor where you say you'll still continue to get a portion of the profits from the cash flow from this property for maybe 12 months or 18 months or 36 months or whatever you work out. If there's any additional equity that you still need to be recompensated after the refinance, you will be paid out of the first cash flows from this property, as long as expenses paid and everything like that. You'll get all the cash flow until your equity reserve plus interest has been met. And then I'll take ownership of the property in perpetuity, right? So what you're able to do is with the same investor, with the same $125,000, you can basically just keep recycling it, purchasing properties, doing the renovations. You're the one that holds the note. You're the one that ends up holding the mortgage. And again, since these all have tenants that are cash flowing inside of them, you can get much more favorable terms from a mortgage lender who sees that you're doing this at scale. Okay. So that's an idea for anybody who's considering investing, but just doesn't maybe have all the cash just sitting parked on the sidelines to do something with it, right? But if you think that you can do the management of it, you can quarterback the property management company if you want to use them. You can do them yourselves if you feel like you have any knowledge of doing the contractor work for doing anything in between, or just quarterbacking that too, but you want to start getting your feet wet in some of these investments. This is a way to do it, and I can talk to anybody about that in more detail. And this is where we're going to end for today. What one of the investors basically said is, don't try and swing for a home run on your first investment. Your first couple of investments, go for singles. Go for singles. And I don't mean single family homes. I mean the metaphor of baseball. Get on base, because once you're on base, you can steal second, you can get hit home to third, right? You're now in the game and you can play with the market conditions that can help you do that. Now in South Jersey, especially the Burlington, Camden, and Gloucester counties, again, where I primarily operate, but I am licensed in all of New Jersey and all of Pennsylvania, that strategy works because the rent here is very strong. This is a very, very strong and in-demand rental market. You can charge a lot here for rent and not have to give up a lot. So that's going to end it for this week, week 19. Jeez, again, I can't believe we're this far out. But I just want to start planting a couple of these seeds of consideration for anybody who might be wanting to invest, but maybe doesn't feel like they have the cash on hand today. Call me, text me, however you're getting this email. Feel free to reach out to me and let's just have a conversation, right? None of my conversations have any obligations attached to them. You don't sign anything with me. I truly like to be a resource for people. And I find that if I could just continue to give good information out in the universe, that the appropriate amount of business will come back to me in return. I'm not greedy or in needing any of that, but this is the wealth building journey that I'm on. And I think it's silly of me not, if I know how to do it and if I can understand how to do it and I can help you analyze the deals, I should. I just feel as though that is my promise to this community in some weird way or fashion. I don't really know what I get out of it. Maybe just feeling prideful, or I don't know. Maybe I'm a middle child, so I just like the attention. But anyway, y'all, that's going to do it for us here, week 19. I'm excited for what week 20. Let's hope to see that our new listings keep going up. Maybe our median list price will hang out for a little bit and we'll be good. So anyway, that's going to do it. See y'all next week.